Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. I hope you are enjoying your weekend as well. And looking at the 1 hour chart of Bitcoin, we can see that we have yesterday spoke about this area here that we have seen an impulse towards the downside, and we are looking forward for 3 waves ups as a correction, and then 5 waves down to hit at least those fib levels. Now, as you can see, this zigzag is not really big to hit exactly those fib levels, so potentially we might even hit the less common fib levels for a diagonal, which is 0.23 at 59,476. So that could be also possible that we retrace even from here towards the upside for a wave 5 in case we are in a diagonal. Now, what you want to make sure of is that we don't really sync with the prices more than the fib levels required, because if we do, then we are already in a bearish scenario as well, possible as WXY. You can see here, this is the range where your wave Y should end as well, right? And we have ended exactly here, after hitting a zigzag fib level 121, which is perfectly hit, by the way, with this fib level exactly on the 121. Therefore, what we are expecting in case that we are bearish after having those 3 zigzags, triple zigzags, complex structure in WXY, we are looking, of course, for lower prices after finishing this 3 waves towards the upside, right? And we can see here is a WXY possibly. So if we sync more than these fib levels that you can see here, as 0.38 and 0.5, so lower than 58,135, that might put our bullish scenario in risk. By all means, if we pass this trend, I'm gonna explain much better. So if I take this trend here, taken from the 1 to the 3 now, right? I make a copy paste for it and then just drag it until that it touched the wave 2. If the prices of this diagonal surpass or overpass through this trend line, the lower one, that means this wave as a wave 4 now is bigger than your wave 2, which is not allowed in Elliott Wave rules, right? Elliott Wave rules for a contracting diagonal is that the wave 1 should be bigger than the wave 3, and the wave 2 should be bigger than the wave 4. Therefore, we want to see a smaller wave than the wave 2. Therefore, it is, if we are bullish, we don't want really to dive deeper than the 0.23 or even the 0.38, right? Much more possible if we want to take the fib level of a zigzag here, so to be even much more accurate where the price might end. This is exactly where it shows with my path here and the trend line, of course, as 59,150. So this would be the ideal price, finishing a perfect zigzag, perfectly inside the trend, and perfectly hitting the fib levels at least for a diagonal wave 4 and moving up to a wave 5. So to be watched, of course, your first target could be 59,476, then 59,150, and then lastly is 58,734. Lower than this, it puts us in a risk, of course, of going much more into a bearish scenario, which is WXY. Now, the WXY, if that happens, in case we dive deeper than this trend line and we went deeper, of course, then we want to see an impulse. by all means, this rather than being just a zigzag hitting the 1-to-1, we might see a continuation as a wave 3, right? And this will be marked as wave 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. So possibly that we go a little bit impulsive, and nobody knows, after 3 waves again towards the downside, and again another impulse towards the downside. By all means, it takes us to a scenario that we saw already before, which is of course, sideways bearish or short-term bearish scenario that we see is WXY zigzag, right? So in that case, we might go into this scenario, right, where we see lower prices, okay, after hitting here and finishing a running flat, and then we are looking here at 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then 5 waves down, right? Then we might see 3 waves up, as I mentioned, and again 5 waves down, hitting exactly and finishing here a zigzag, right? After finishing, of course, a flat, so this will end up as in this shape, as a zigzag, and yeah, finishing a wave Y here, and yeah, in that way, a bigger structure or complex structure has been finished. Zigzag, flat, zigzag, double zigzag, WXY complex structure has been finished, exactly hitting the fibs for a wave Y, and then moving towards the upside. Now, another scenario for this, rather than having a zigzag, it could be possible as well to start talking about a triangle, right? Triangle, because also is another common thing to see in a complex structure when you have a zigzag, a flat, and you start to see kind of like a ranging as a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. So that might also finish our wave Y somewhere here as well, and then move up again towards the upside. However, the highest possibility is a zigzag, because we want to touch, of course, this fib level at least at 0.618, which is the most common. Therefore, it could, yeah, it can be a triangle, just hitting this fib level. So if I want to mark it exactly, we can see such a triangle like this, right? Touching exactly this fib level. So it is very possible to be a wave Y as well, finishing on this fib level and then move up again towards the upside. So this is your most bearish scenario, which is a short-term bearish, finishing a WXY and then move up again with our bullish scenario towards the upside. Now, I want to talk a little bit also about the possibilities here. So far, which possibilities are much more closer now after seeing this price action. So after looking at this price action, we want to revise a little bit our bullish scenarios here and look what is much more possible, because the things has changed now a little bit as possibilities, of course, after seeing this price action. Now, if we want to take that we are in a wave 5 towards the upside, right? After hitting the wave 2 here, 0.78, perfect. Everything is fine. So we are talking here about our 100K scenario, which is here. To see this scenario happening, of course, it has still now higher possibility, because we are looking to a potential diagonal. So this potential diagonal can start already a 1, 2 for our wave 3. So by all means, in your 100K scenario, you have bottomed your wave 4 exactly here, finishing your wave C after a zigzag ABC, and finishing the wave 4 at the 0.5 fib level. After that, we are looking for a wave 1 and then 2. So this is your wave 1, and your 3 waves 2 towards the downside has hit exactly the 0.78 fib level. After this, of course, you want to see a big wave 3 towards the upside. Now, of course, you're asking, okay, why we already have a 1-2, why we want to see another 1-2? Okay, so this is your main 1-2 of your impulse, and your wave 3 should be also be 5 waves impulsive, right? So this wave 3 should be already as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing this wave 3, and then looking for a bigger 4, 5 again, finishing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, your wave 3 now, the impulse, needs to have, of course, a 1, 2 to move on towards the upside. Therefore, this diagonal, in case it has finished the fifth wave for a diagonal, so possibly that we see a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Looking at another scenario here, so this scenario for a wave 5 still have the highest possibility now because we are looking to a formation of a 1, 2 for a wave 3, right? Now, if we are looking for a wave C of a zigzag, and by all means, the zigzag we have here a finished ABC again, and then we are looking for an ABC zigzag towards the upside, hitting this wave C as 1, right, for 1 fib level. In that case, of course, we are also in a good possibility or high possibility. However, because this is a diagonal 1, 2, we want to reach, of course, at least the 1 to 1 fib level. Now, possibly that we continue then as diagonal, right? Because if we go very impulsive, we might reach even higher than the 1 to 1 fib level. Therefore, possibly it is much more possible that we continue in diagonal shape to hit this fib level, right? And by the way, this even gives a higher possibility for our bullish scenario for a wave 5 because your wave 1 is very big. If you are just in a wave C, your wave 1 is really big and it's even like double time of the wave C, right? So in that case scenario, whether we are diagonal to hit a wave C, otherwise we are definitely in a move towards the upside for a bigger wave 3. Therefore, the possibilities, even I would give it 75% for our bullish scenario rather than 70%, which is a zigzag, because of the wave 1, how much large it is, right? Now, wave C in diagonal shape and expanding flat. That means we are looking at ABC here, finish zigzag, and then A, B, and a C looking for an expanding flat towards the upside. Now, your expanding flat, of course, is still possible. However, it has less possibilities because if we are in an expanding flat of a wave C, we have already here our 1, 2. Now, if you are diagonal, you want to move, and your diagonal has started already in 3 zigzag shapes almost. So you want to see the same happening for the wave 3 in a diagonal, right? So you want to see zigzag up, zigzag down, and then finally one more zigzag towards the upside, finishing this diagonal shape, contracting diagonal shape towards the upside, right? So by looking at this wave here, because it is diagonal, we cannot really say that, okay, this is what we want to see when we form a zigzag. Because when you want to form a zigzag, of course, you want to see impulse, right? And then 3 waves towards the downside and then impulse. Now, it is possible to start with a diagonal, as we can see here, where we still need, of course, 1 higher wave. However, if we see just 3 waves towards the downside until almost here and then moving impulsively again, then I would give it back a possibility one more time, right? Because if you want to see a zigzag, you don't want to go deeper for a wave 2, right? You only need 3 corrective waves and start a new impulse towards the upside to form a zigzag. Therefore, if we don't dive deeper after finishing this diagonal, if we don't dive for a wave 2, therefore, yeah, I would give this possibility, higher possibility, that we move up. However, for now, it is a less possibility, 60% to happen until we see those 3 waves towards the mid, maybe even to the middle of this diagonal, and then move towards the upside again. Then the possibility goes higher again. So that's why I have arranged again the percentage of these possibilities. So the highest is, of course, that we are in a wave 5, big wave 5, starting from here as 1, 2, and now we are looking to a big 1, 2 again for a wave 3, 4, 5. And then we want to see, of course, a bigger wave 4, and then finishing this wave 5 around the 100 case scenario that we have spoke about it since many times ago. And the second one, which is 70%, is the wave C as a zigzag, where we can exactly here see A, B, and a C. So if we are diagonal here, if we see also 3 waves towards the downside, and then again one more wave towards the upside, that also like reduce the possibility to be a wave C, because we have a big wave 1 here. So therefore the only possibility is just to be in diagonal to the wave C because of this large amount of a wave 1, right? Now a wave C in diagonal shape for expanding flat, that means a bigger wave C in diagonal. So this is your wave 1, 2 as diagonal. You need a wave 3 to be a zigzag actually towards the upside, and then moving up. So as you can see here, this is the first half of the zigzag. It looks very short, by the way, for a zigzag as well, and we need like 3 waves down, 3 waves up to say okay that we are in a diagonal. So these are the scenarios that it has happened between bullish and bearish scenario, and the possibility that it varies now because of this wave and the large amount of it. So yeah, this is exactly what we are looking for. Don't forget our bearish scenario as well, NWXY double zigzag, that it might be also a possible scenario, you know, only in case we see lower prices than than expected, and it disabling or invalidating is this diagonal towards the upside. Once we see this, then definitely we are in a bearish scenario, which is the WXY, of course, sideways. So that was it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the content, and subscribe for the channel if you didn't yet. See you in the next videos. Have a nice day. Bye bye.